Can a small, fragile girl survive in the desert, with no food, no water, and nothing but sand, fire, and cruelty all around her? Let's find out. Welcome to the post-apocalypse. The cities lie in ruins. The land has become a desert. But here and there, life still remains. We see an oasis brimming with water and greenery. A girl named Furiosa is picking peaches. Suddenly, she spots strangers, bikers who have stumbled upon this oasis in the middle of the wasteland. Furiosa sneaks up to them and cuts the fuel lines of their motorcycles. Suddenly, she's spotted. The girl blows a special whistle and tries to escape. Unfortunately, she gets caught. In the heart of the oasis stands a city. The sound of her whistle reaches it. Two women on horseback ride out in pursuit of the bikers. One of them manages to wound an enemy and seize his bike. Before the women part ways, one warns the other that no one must learn of the oasis. If the bikers get away, they'll bring hordes of savages here, and then the city will be devastated. A days-long chase through the desert begins. The bikers' camp comes into view on the horizon. The woman chasing the kidnappers has taken down almost all of them, except one. He makes it to the camp and tells everyone he's found an oasis of abundance, overflowing with food and water. His proof is the girl herself. The biker demands to be taken to the gang's leader, Dementis. But when the kidnapper's motorcycle starts moving, Furiosa manages to damage it. The rider crashes, and here is Dementis. The man is surrounded by his beloved dogs, his aides, and an old historian. They bring the girl to him. She's healthy. All her teeth and nails are intact. It seems she really has been well fed. The girl is questioned about where she's from. Furiosa stays silent. Dementis demands they bring in the man who captured her. They bring the biker. His neck was badly injured when he fell off his motorcycle, so he has no more than a minute to live. Now, there's no one left to tell where the oasis of abundance is hidden. Dementis decides to win the girl over. He orders that she be treated as a guest, washed, and fed. The people tending to Furiosa find a peach on her. It's the first fruit they've seen in many years. They eat the peach, leaving Furiosa only the pit. At night, a sandstorm rises. Taking advantage of it, the woman from the oasis slips into the camp. She rescues Furiosa. The girl runs to her crying, "Mom!" Mother and daughter flee the camp. But Dementis had kept his dogs close for a reason. The animals pick up the scent. The gang sets off in pursuit. The woman stops in a canyon and orders Furiosa to ride off alone. She tells the little one to reach home by any means and plant her peach pit. The woman herself is going to hold off the pursuers. Dementis' gang catches up with her. Furiosa can't bear it and returns to her mother. Sadly, it's already too late. Dementis' men have tied her to a cross and are interrogating her. We hear her terrifying screams. Dementis forces the girl to watch. He promises to end her mother's suffering if Furiosa leads the gang to the oasis. The girl cries, but neither she nor her mother betrays their city. Time passes. Dementis subjugates new biker gangs. The only one who refuses to bow to him is little Furiosa. Dementis carries her around in a cage. He gives the girl a teddy bear, a toy that once belonged to his own children. The girl rejects the gift. The old historian urges Furiosa to accept her fate. His skin is covered with tattoos holding the knowledge of bygone times. He tattooed himself so he wouldn't forget anything. When the old man falls asleep, Furiosa steals his tattoo machine. She decides to record something on her skin as well. These are constellations. Furiosa doesn't know how far Dementis' caravan will go, but someday, the star map will lead her home. One day, the gang spots a signal fire. They find a strange, pale-skinned man. He's a warrior from the Citadel, a settlement with food and water. The warrior invites Dementis to come with him. The caravan arrives at the Citadel, a massive city built atop an old water pumping station. People here don't live, they survive. The city has water and hydroponic gardens, but its ruler gives the people only meager scraps. Dementis demands that the Citadel submit to him, or he will lay it under siege. The ruler of the Citadel, Immortan Joe, steps out onto the balcony. Dementis is told to point to any Citadel warrior. He makes his choice, and the warrior jumps from a cliff right before his eyes. It becomes clear that this is an army of fanatics. Each of them is ready to give their lives for Immortan Joe. Without a second thought, the biker gang stands no chance against such force. A battle breaks out. Furiosa is dragged into a foul-smelling tunnel beneath the Citadel. Dementis rescues her and escapes. He makes his way to a fortress surrounded by a lake of oil. That's Gastown. Immortan Joe sends trucks loaded with vegetables and water here. In return, they supply the fuel that powers the Citadel's pumps. Dementis' gang hijacks one of these trucks. The bikers paint themselves with white clay to resemble Immortan Joe's warriors. Dementis stages an elaborate performance. His gang pretends to be chasing the Citadel's truck. The defenders of Gastown decide to save their supposed allies and open the gates. Dementis' men leap out of the truck. Before long, the fortress will be captured. Dementis demands a meeting with Immortan Joe. He requires more water and vegetables than Gastown used to receive. Otherwise, the Citadel will get no more fuel. Furiosa is present during the negotiations. Dementis introduces her as his daughter. Immortan Joe doesn't believe him, but nevertheless agrees to the terms. His only condition, Furiosa must remain in the Citadel. Once she grows up, she will become one of Immortan Joe's wives. Thus, Furiosa ends up in the ruler's harem. Here she has water and food. The wives bear children for the ruler. Due to mutations, almost all infants are deformed and can't survive for long. If a woman gives birth unsuccessfully 3 times, she is stripped of her status, reduced almost to the level of an animal. From then on, she must endlessly express milk, the main source of animal protein in the Citadel. One of Immortan Joe's sons begins to show an interest in Furiosa. Noticing this, the little girl cuts off her hair and uses wax and cloth to make a wig. One night, the ruler's son takes her away. Immortan Joe's concubines wear chastity belts, but this doesn't stop his son. He cuts off the belt and grabs the girl by the hair. At that moment, Furiosa escapes. All that remains in her attacker's hand is the wig made from her shorn locks. Furiosa smears her face with dirt and hides. The ruler's son loses her trail. A long time passes. Furiosa disguises herself as a boy and works as an assistant to the mechanics. They build machines and lifting devices for Immortan Joe. In the middle of a busy workday, the crane operator falls from a great height. Furiosa is ordered to replace him. The girl agrees and finds herself hanging over an abyss. Everyone is amazed by her courage and agility. She is promoted to crane operator. Years go by. Furiosa still passes herself off as a boy. She hides her grown-out hair and pretends to be mute so no one hears her feminine voice. Now the mechanics are building a special war rig for Immortan Joe. It's equipped with everything needed to fight off marauders. Special hopes are placed on a secret weapon, the Bomby Knocker. The rig will be driven by a Praetorian Jack, the road warrior, the best driver in the Citadel. Furiosa decides it's time to return home. The star map tattooed on her arm will show the way. The girl prepares and hides food under the chassis of the truck. Praetorian Jack sets out for Gastown. Marauders attack him on the way. They are heavily armed, riding bikes, and using parachutes. Immortan Joe's warriors defend the war rig, but their numbers dwindle by the minute. The fuel hose gets damaged in the heat of battle. A mechanic climbs down to fix it and spots Furiosa hiding under the tank. Will he give the girl away? It seems not. After another hit, gasoline splashes on the mechanic. The man bursts into flames and falls from the truck. Furiosa takes his place, repairing the hose. If the rig stops now, her plan will fail too. Suddenly, the enemy pierces the radiator. Furiosa seals the breach, but to do so, she has to reveal herself to Praetorian Jack. He remains unfazed. When the marauders try to drag the protagonist off the truck, Jack steps in to protect her. The two of them are now the last members of the convoy. The rest are gone, but victory is close. Jack stays at the wheel, while Furiosa activates the Bomby Knocker. A marauder on a parachute sees the terrifying machine come to life. He tries to veer away, but it's already too late. The battle is over, which means that Praetorian Jack, once an ally, has now become an enemy. Furiosa tries to give him orders, but the man simply throws her out of the truck. The girl realizes she's alone in the middle of the desert, but before she even realizes the danger, Jack comes back. He explains to Furiosa that there's nowhere for her to go. Want to run away? Fine. Then she should join Jack and become the road warrior herself. That way, she'll be able to get anywhere. A long time passes. Now Furiosa is a Praetorian too. She and Jack are the perfect team. They arrive at the bullet farm, an ammunition plant that produces bullets. There, Jack picks up his order, a shotgun. He gives the weapon to Furiosa. Looks like the girl is now ready to escape. The road warriors head to the gas town. Dementis is still in charge here. Under his rule, the plant has fallen into decline. Fuel is scarce. People are on strike. Dementis demands that Jack arrange a meeting with Immortan Joe for him and sends the Praetorians away empty-handed. Immortan Joe is furious. He orders Jack and Furiosa to go back to the bullet farm and bring back as many bullets as possible. It's time to take Gastown back from Dementis. Jack understands. War is coming. He asks Furiosa where she wants to run. The girl shows him a star map tattooed on her arm and tells him about a land of abundance. They decide to escape together. The truck heads toward the bullet farm. This time, Jack and Furiosa have no intention of coming back. But something is wrong in the bullet farm. Jack spots one of Dementis' dogs there. He realizes it's an ambush. The truck is caught in a trap and ends up locked inside the bullet farm. Furiosa is left outside and could escape, but she doesn't. Instead, she arms herself with a rifle and covers Jack. The man rams the truck into the factory to strip Dementis of his advantage. Pipes and hoists come crashing down. One of the cranes hooks Jack's truck and drags it into the abyss. It seems Jack has no chances of survival, but Furiosa is already racing to his aid. The couple makes their getaway, with Dementis' gang in hot pursuit. Furiosa fires back, but suddenly the side of a vehicle crushes her arm. Every bone is shattered. Jack and Furiosa's vehicle flips over. They're captured. Furious that his plans have been foiled, Dementis orders Furiosa to be hung by her mangled arm. Jack is tied to a motorcycle and dragged across the desert. Dementis' dogs chasing after him, tearing at his body. The execution is over. Dementis grows bored, and the bikes have kicked up so much dust that nothing can be seen. When the dust finally settles, Dementis notices something horrifying. It looks like the captive was so insane that she rid herself of her broken arm. Now, Furiosa is racing toward the Citadel on a stolen motorcycle. When the fuel runs out, she continues on foot. Nearly reaching the Citadel, Furiosa collapses from blood loss. She wakes up in a foul, stinking place. The girl remembers it. This is the tunnel beneath the Citadel, the one she was nearly dragged into as a child. It is filled with rotting corpses, where the local poor grow maggots. Those maggots are their only food. Furiosa gets out and informs Immortan Joe of Dementis' betrayal. The Citadel prepares for war. Furiosa helps Immortan Joe plan everything, but demands that he hand Dementis over to her. That monster has already cut short the lives of 2 people dear to her. The 40-day war for the wasteland begins. Furiosa creates a mechanical prosthetic to replace her severed arm. She cuts her hair, finds a vehicle, and sets off in pursuit of Dementis. The biker army is crushed. Dementis retreats, and Furiosa drives him across the desert. The protagonist catches up to her enemy while he sleeps, slashes his canteen, and deprives him of water. She doesn't just want to kill Dementis, she wants him to suffer as her loved ones did. Dementis tells a touching story about how he lost his children, claiming that this was the only reason he became a monster. But it's too late. Furiosa's heart knows no mercy. We see different versions of how Furiosa might have finished off her enemy, but they are all just rumors. In truth, Dementis is still alive. Inspired by the maggot farm, Furiosa chained him in a dungeon beneath the Citadel. She placed a peach pit she had kept all these years into his body. Feeding on his living flesh, the tree takes root and bears fruit. Furiosa picks the peaches and offers them to Immortan Joe's wives. These women are the last good thing left in her life. She wants to free them and bring them to a land of abundance. Will they manage to escape? The answer awaits us in Mad Max: Fury Road.